Hello everyone, this is your guy Rajat from Rain Studios. So you might be well aware that mobile internet usage has surpassed desktop internet usage for quite some time now, and most of the visitors of your website or web app are coming from mobile devices. So it's very important now to make your website mobile first or mobile friendly enough so that people who are accessing your web content using their mobile devices don't feel like that okay, this website is designed for like a desktop environment and they cannot access the content on your web page or your web app properly, and they neglect your web content just because it is not rendering greatly on their mobile devices. So in today's video I'm going to show you how you can make your website or your web app responsive so that it can render greatly on a user's mobile phone. Okay, so today we will see how to make our web content mobile and iPad friendly. Before I start the main video, I would like to tell you that in case you want to request a video, you can do so by leaving a comment on my videos, or you can follow my Facebook page. I will leave a link in the description, so check that out as well, and make sure to like Rain Studios Facebook page and make a comment on my Facebook page in case you want to request certain video. Also, you can write to me at rajat@rainstudios.com, and that will also do. In case you like the content of Rain Studios YouTube channel, make sure to like the videos and watch all the videos till the end, because it helps me with something known as user retention, and it actually tells YouTube that my content is something worth watching and it is something which is kind of useful for people who are trying to do something in web development or mobile development. So without any further ado, let's get down to the laptop and see how we can make our website and web apps mobile friendly. So let's get started. So let's suppose that you have a website or a landing page like this. So it looks like this on a desktop, and when I try to contract the viewport or the browser window, you can see that this horizontal scroll bar appears and I can scroll my web page's content, right? It means that my landing page will not render properly on a mobile device like a mobile phone or an iPad. So my users are required to scroll horizontally, and this is not a great user experience for the end user, because nobody likes to do some extra work in order to consume the content. So we have to make sure that our web page's content is mobile first or mobile friendly at least. So how to do that? To do that, we employ a technique known as responsive web design, and to do that we use media queries. Now media queries is a CSS mechanism which one can employ in order to instruct the browser about how it can apply various CSS styles using our CSS clauses, which are especially designed for mobile screens, right? So basically you serve the same CSS for both the desktop environment and the mobile environment, and it is dependent on the browser to use or to cherry pick only the CSS styles which are relevant for the user's screen. Like if that CSS and that HTML page is being rendered on a desktop, so it can use desktop media queries, and in case it is being rendered on a mobile device or an iPad, it can cherry pick those other media queries which are specifically targeting only mobile devices of certain width, right? So you can go to this Mozilla Developer Network web docs and check out media queries in case you are curious about this stuff. So let's quickly see that how we can actually use these media queries in order to make our web page responsive. Before that, let's try to have a look at the structure of our web page. So it's a very simple web page. Basically, we have got a parent container. Inside that, we have 3 sections, right? So the first section is the logo or the branding section. Basically, it's a paragraph and it contains an inlined image along with some text. So this part, okay. Then we have got the main content, right, which is this thing, and we have got a simple HTML button, right? Also, let's have a look at the style. So basically, this is the body. I have made the background sky blue, and I adjusted the body's margin to 0 pixels so that there is no margin for the body. So this is basically just like resetting the CSS so as to make every browser on the same page when it is rendering our web content, okay. And there is more to CSS resetting which you can read on Google, and maybe I'll talk about CSS resetting in my next videos, but it is out of the scope of this video. Just understand that I did that so as to remove any sort of margin from the body, okay. So I have given our container a width of 960 pixels and the margin is set to auto so as to center align the content horizontally, okay. Now the image has been given a width of 100 pixels, and you can do any sort of pixel foo based on your image size and the type of content you are trying to render. I was very comfortable with this image size, and so it is up to you, right? Then for this logo text, I have adjusted the font size to 36 pixels, and the content part, the background is black, the padding is 10px, so the padding at all corners is 10px, and the border radius is 5px. As you can see that the border is somewhat circular here and the color is white, okay, and the button is left as it is, okay. So let's try to make this website mobile friendly. In order to do that, we are first going to get acquainted with Chrome developer tools, because that is very beneficial for you to understand. So to go to Chrome developer tools, you can go to this section and you can press this, okay. So the developer tools are visible. So if you head over to this button, this is a responsive designing button. So you can choose between responsive design and desktop design, and there are pre-made selections which you can choose. So based on this, your browser window can expand and contract accordingly. So also you can use these segmented bars in order to expand or contract your viewport. Now this is the viewport, okay. So this is a mobile viewport, and again mobile viewport for medium sized mobile, then mobile viewport for large size mobile, and so on. And we have also got a tablet size viewport, okay. All right, so how can we actually employ media queries to make our content responsive? And let me also try to show you what kind of end result we are trying to achieve here. So this is our desktop view, and as I start contracting the viewport, you can see that our logo transitions into a vertical logo, and our body and our button changes their appearance. So the button gets full width and the body starts contracting, and it leaves certain padding on either side, right? So this is the end result which we will try to achieve in our video. So as of now we have this. It is not adjusting its layout as per the viewport, right? So our first task is to employ a meta tag viewport. Okay, so you can go to this document and you can basically copy paste this meta tag in your web page's head. So basically this is a meta tag which instruct browsers to expand the content of a web page to the entire device's width. Okay, and it sets the initial scale to 1. What it means that when a mobile browser tries to render your web content on a user device, right? So it tries to auto scale your website's font and typography so as to adjust itself so that it does not seem off-putting, or a user does not have to pinch to zoom or scroll the web pages to see your content. So it tries to do several sort of optimizations so as to make your web pages content consumable in case it is not very mobile friendly, and by default a mobile browser tries to render your web pages content into 980 pixels of width. So basically it is of like no use when you try to render a website which is designed for desktop environments on a mobile device, because then you are required to pinch to zoom in order to see the content. Now this parameter tells the browser to not perform any sort of those auto scaling optimizations, and it instructs the browser to just don't do anything, and the website will adjust all of its responsive design on its own. So the browser does not have to do anything. Okay, so this meta tag is very essential for responsive web design. Once this design is in place, you can start using media queries. Okay, so as you can see that we can readily click on these segmented bars to get to various sort of device widths, right? So let's try to target tablets first. Okay, so I want that whenever a viewer is viewing my page's content on a tablet, this logo should get displayed in a vertical alignment, which means that Reno Studio should place itself underneath this logo. Okay, so let's try to do that. To do that, we are going to write media query. So this is the notation. Okay, and max width can be this, how much? 768 pixels. Okay, so max width is going to be 768 pixels, and here I am going to change the qualities of certain elements. So as of now you can see that my image is inlined, right? So this text is going to follow my image element in one line, right? So I can change my images display to block, which will instruct the browser to put a new line after the image content. So let's try to test it, and as you can see that now my Reno Studio's heading is right underneath my logo. Let's try to expand this, and you can see that here my Reno Studio's branding is alongside the logo. So now we can say that our media queries are working, right? As you can see here, right? As soon as it falls below 769 pixels, the image element gets the display to be blocked, right? All right. So let's try to make the logo text somewhat smaller as well, or let's try to make it bigger, okay, so as to accentuate our branding. So we can make it 48 pixels. All right, and also try let's make a logo somewhat bigger as well. Okay, so we can make it like width can be 120 pixels. Okay, so on tablets our logo is going to be somewhat bigger. Let's see, let's try to first reload the page, reload it, and then let's see. Okay, so as you can see that our text is somewhat bigger now. Okay, also let's try to center align this thing. So it the margin should be auto, or I can make the margin here and it should be auto, so as to center align the thing. And let's remove this and let's try to reload the thing. Okay, it has not yet got auto. Let's see what happened. Okay, and for P we have to do like text align, and this is going to be in center. Okay, all right, so do I have to do this because okay, all right, so this CSS can actually make our logo center aligned. Okay, now you can see that when I try to contract the window, my logo adjusts itself accordingly. So let's try to make the container leave a padding of 10 pixel when it falls below 768 pixels. So the padding can be 10 pixels. Okay, so whenever the content falls below 768 pixels, it is going to leave 10 pixels of padding on all four sides. Okay, as you can see here, right? So when it is greater than 768, there is no padding on our container, but when it falls below 768, there is some padding, as you can see here, right? Also, let's try to adjust this button thing as well. So for buttons, we can do something like this button, and then it can have the width of 100% of the container, so it is going to occupy the entire width. Okay, all right, so let's try to adapt this UI further for smaller screens like these screens, right? So what can we do for it? Let's try to make the logo kind of circular and this text even smaller. So to target these screens, you can do it is 320 pixels. Okay, so when you can use another media query for it, and the max width can be, let's try to target a large mobile device, so that with 425 pixels as we saw here. Okay, and then we can employ even more CSS to target this viewport. Okay, so let's try to make the logo circular. So images, and let's try to put one more property here, border radius. It can be 10 pixels. Okay, let's try to reload this page, and as you can see that we have got a circular corners on our logo. Also, let's try to make the text of our logo somewhat smaller, because it's a small screen and we should be using most of the user window for rendering our main content. So let's try to make the font smaller here. Let's it be like 24 pixels. Okay, let's try to reload the page, and as you can see here that our branding now has a smaller font. Also, let's try to make the logo smaller as well, so it can be like 80 pixels. Okay, and okay, so this is now comparatively smaller. And let's try to expand the window now. So as soon as it falls above 425 pixels, it is going to use that tablet media query, and when it falls above, I mean it steps over 768 pixels, it is going to employ the CSS which are geared toward the desktop environment. So now as you can see that our web page is being responsive to the viewport. So that is how you can actually use media queries to do all sorts of CSS foo in order to improve the responsiveness of your web page. Now I just told you about the tip of CSS media queries. Now you can go to this doc and read more about what can be done using CSS media queries. And also like here we have used media queries, so it's a cascading style sheet thing, right? So most of the styles get cascaded. So there are certain styles which are being used in all three viewport style, like in the mobile and in the tablet one and in the desktop as well, like this black button. So the style cascades from the top to the bottom. So this is specific to mobile, but it is also going to take into account the styles which are very generic, like the content thing. So the background has been set 000. So if I am not going to set the background in any of my media queries, the background is going to inherit its value from this place, right? But if I want to set it specifically for any specific screen size, I can do that using media queries, right? So it inherits all the generic CSS styles, then it applies the specifically targeted CSS styles based on media queries. So that is how cascading style sheets work, and that is how media queries work in CSS. So with that, we have reached to the conclusion of our video, and now I think that you are pretty confident about what media queries are and what can be done using media queries and how to make your web content responsive. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Rain Studio's YouTube channel in case you are interested in learning more about full stack development and mobile development. Take care. Bye-bye.